Well, that's 101 golden question. 12 people challenging me on a question. We don't understand the level of investment that's required to engage with you in the pathway. Fantastic question. That's why we're going to do a video and explain exactly that. When I describe the pathway to people, I basically say it's my life in a business. I've ever married in 1982. I had 9 jobs and I was in 700 homes on a Thursday and a Friday night, which meant that I could listen to the grandparents, the parents and the children. And one of the things I was aware of was where people lived, past or present. I paid attention to their story. 1987 in my first company. 1988 I've exhausted and I've collapsed. What's the pinnacle change? I was no longer willing to do it on my own. Neuroassociation to the word coaching. Do you move towards it? Do you move back? See, when I was 12 years of age, I was surrounded by 9 people who were either entrepreneurs or they owned a company, which means they were a business owner. When I looked at the vibration and frequency that they were on against the average person in the village and the towns, I realised your environment and the people you were around had an impact on what you played in within your head. And all I'm saying is, when I was with entrepreneurs, I could start manifesting and daydreaming 5-10 year chunks. And I quickly realised with people and environment, that could have a detrimental impact on actually what you allowed yourself to see and how far you could allow yourself to see. But it was also about what you believed. It's where you are, where you're meant to be. As what you're doing right now, what you were born to do. So it's like a triangle. Coaches to me to you. Coaches to me to you. All repeated learning. I need to thank the coaches. Dr. Richard Bandler, the co-founder of NLP, became obsessed with the man, so relentless, bought everything. Dr. Joe Dispenza, John Laval, Tony Robbins and his team, Stephen Covey, Professor Lipton. I'm obsessed. This is why I am the way I am. If I don't have a growth plan, I become depressed and low. If I don't go into nature every day, sometimes multiple times a day, I become unwell. So the most important message for you in the pathway is, when you engage, you'll become more respectful of yourself. I was developing myself with 5 of these psychologists we just mentioned, but then I got a call. We want you to go to businesses in New York and Boston, Apple, Harvard, MIT, Bloomberg, Morgan Stanley, and Model Excellence. Fireworks went off. So now you're sitting with somebody sitting in this chair who's been developed with all the top psychologists in the world, who's also went and modelled and mirrored every aspect of all these businesses, which there was 14. So even in one session, I will change your map, I will change your world. I wrote a book called The 1% Mindset Book. Inside it there's a simple tool. And in this tool it's a life wheel which allows you to score and give you a reality of where are you right now. It's about my job to get people to become more excited about the destination. And that's not what the brain's conditioned to do. I've just conditioned my life for 40 years to grow. I want to ask you a question. How do you program your mind today, and what do you have round about you? If you walk into my office, there's portraits of people all over the wall. One in particular, Sir Alex Ferguson. It's not about being an amazing footballer or a world-class footballer. It's about being a world-class human being. We also talked about the expectations that you set upon yourself and what you demand of yourself. And this is what I have in my brain. We're going to set new standards, because that line we ain't dropping. And basically what we get a flavour of, that's where the average person lives. Why? Because they don't have a growth plan. But when you have role models, they set the bar. So if I'm Stevie Kidd and I'm saying this is who I am as a leader, and I've got people on my wall who set the bar at another level, I'm coming in every day saying I'm not falling below my level, that level, but what's beyond that level? So what you demand of yourself, you demand more. You become more happier, you become more fulfilled, you become a better communicator, you become more aware. You smile more, you laugh more, but you become an amazing human being, and your life ends up being about serving and helping other people. Would you take that? We're now going to talk about the services, which is what people have asked for. I think it's important that I say something even before we do that. I need to be motivated, the Pathway team need to be motivated, because you're working with a company who are the example of moving forward personally and professionally. We can't work with people who continually go into the pit lane, who don't do the work. That's not who we are. What we have to do is walk beside you. Over the years we've refined the services, but there really is only 4 or 5 pillars. So to give everybody the opportunity, purchase a session, £500 plus VAT, book it online, make sure you frame me before you come in, because one thing can be guaranteed: I will read all your patterns and I will give you powerful suggestions that I put deep into your unconscious. You will leave the room after one session, know the person that came in, and if you're inspired in that session and you want more, we map it out. But that's where a lot of people start. Always remember, coach and be coached. So the moment we're engaged with Tony Robbins, Business Mastery and the Mastery Coaching team, and we're relentless actually. So where's it powerful for product 2? Who's the customer? Evidence shows that it's chief execs, managing directors, board members, senior managers who want a succession plan. Investment, 3,000 to 5,000 a month. But what's your return? Everything I said at the start of this VT. Self-leadership across every area of your life. Understanding your neurology, understanding emotions, understanding your nervous system, understanding the brain functionality. You don't just have the ability to understand and manifest who you are. You've then got the ability to look 360 degrees round about you and understand every human being that's presented to you. And then you become a coach to them and everything changes. Product 3, the metaphor is river dance. You've got Michael Flatley there, and you've got all the people within the business that are all aligned in sync. They all know their job roles, they've all got their job specifications, and we're all connected like a family heading in one direction. It's a product that really excites me. It's where I can take my whole life and business experience and create transformational change. It's about giving back and serving others. It's about investing in the people, and it's about really coaching people to be the best version of themselves and the best version within that role. It's about the board strategy, but we're all singing in the same notes in the choir, all heading to the same direction. Now it's evident with companies that were merged in the past. The 5 million company that's became the £30 million care company by a merger, or the construction company that's went from the £2 million company it's now on to a £25 million strategy. The company growth is going 25 times the size of what it was. There's a powerful matrix to how we do it. You have to cap the fees. I cap the fees to 5,000 to 7,500 depending on the size of the company or the organisation. And then what we introduce is something called phantom shares. We take the last 3 to 5 years of profitability of the business, and then we take it forward into the new financial year. And the financial year after that, that's an investment, because you're going to have a culture, a growth strategy, and personal and professional financial freedom that you wouldn't have had if you never engaged. The Pathway is continually looking for science, and for years we've always been aware of brain mapping. It's in the book. Understanding emotion, understanding unconscious, understanding who you are at a deeper level. How often do you do brain mapping? 6-month intervals. What are we measuring? Emotion. What's the investment? 2,000. One brain map, one consultation, recommendations, revisit it 6 months later. Because the question I've got for you now is, how much do you really understand about you right now against what you could know? Product 5, FTSE 500 companies. We have a forum group in here, and we actually sit and identify the companies and the global leaders that we would love to have a partnership with. And once we get to engagement level and we have conversations, we identify talent internationally. We identify that talent, and every single person is bespoke. Usually involves a coaching session a month. Every 6 to 8 weeks it involves group team development, all in line with the strategy of the company. So between the individual sessions it might be anything between 10 and 25 people, and at times we change the matrix of the company. Now these organisations just select what event they want to participate in. that can be anything between a 1 and 2 year journey, but all linked to them being the best version they can be, all about succession planning, and all about nailing the strategy, and all about getting them to understand something that nobody understands, because you're not developed to understand this: who you are. Do you understand who you are? Do you understand the business strategy? Do you understand the people around about you? Do you understand your customers? Do you understand your own values? And how do we connect that energy internationally so that we're one family heading in a one direction that then leads to a fulfilled succession plan of doing an event, Kilimanjaro, Everest Base Camp, or the 105-hour Reach Your Peak Scottish event? Legacy. I think we can all have one. I think we can all raise our standards, we can all self-discover more about ourselves and care for others and serve people more than we currently do. I do genuinely believe you're watching this because it's being presented to you. The universe has presented it to you. You're getting a strong message here. It's what you take with what voices you choose to listen to. The ones that's going to be about your future growth, are the ones that's about a past experience that's going to hold you back with a predictable future. But what's my hope and dreams for you? That you continue to discover your true authentic self and show the world truly who you are. And that's what the pathway has been designed on. True authenticity. I see it in all the events. People who have got the courage to go to the Scottish event, Kilimanjaro or Everest Base Camp. Show the world you and stay connected to what you want all your futures to be. Every day, even in this room right now, up in that right hand corner, I'm smiling because it's the end. And the reason why I'm smiling is I'm saying to myself, what a journey. I have no regrets. Don't you have any regrets?